Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 407, top episodes of 2016. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the fine folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Head over to Weavers and check it out. They got the definitive Andy Griffith Show reference guide. Great book if you haven't gotten it. It's a great book. It's been out of print for a while, but they got softcover versions of it. Head over and check it out. Also, we have the Johnny Lightning Andy Griffith Show squad cars. Head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and check it out. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners like you. Executive producer of today's show is my wife, Jan Newsom. Hello, everybody. I'm Alan Newsom, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting. This may be your very first episode, and it is so good to have you here with me in Mayberry. We have a great time. This is our 407th episode, so there is a lot of material that you can go back and listen through. A lot of video versions of this as well. If you want to go on YouTube and watch the video versions, a lot of those. But don't be discouraged. You don't have to go and watch them all. I'm sure over the time I've been doing the show, I've probably repeated myself somewhere. But I've attempted, for the most part, every episode has new or different material. Now, the exception would be these kind of episodes that we're doing right here, which is a review of the top episodes from last year, 2016. So I think there's probably several people that may have gotten new phones or new, I don't know, iPods. I guess they still make iPods. New computer even, something where you're able to listen to podcasts or watch the YouTube video versions of the show, and you're wanting to get involved. Well, let me tell you, the best way to get involved is just to jump in and have fun here in Mayberry, because I mean, really, that's all we're here about, is to help you have a good time and to just let you know things that you may not have known before about the Andy Griffith Show. But to get into that, I thought it would be a good idea to present some of the top episodes of the last year. That kind of gets you a starting spot, and it gives you an idea of where other people think the best episodes are. Now, if you don't know how to get there, if you've run across this and didn't know, you can go to twochairsnowaiting.com and get to the website. You can also head over to imayberry.com. If you go to imayberry.com, there's stuff right there on the front page of imayberry.com that will give you all the information about how to get to not only the podcast episodes that are available, because there's not just this podcast. There are other podcasts as well. There's Burke on Mayberry. There's also a podcast I do that's kind of not been put out very much, but I did 11 episodes. I have 2 in the can. I just haven't released. In the can, that means I have them sitting around and haven't released them yet. But that's the Mayberry Bible Study podcast. So there's all those available. If you head over to imayberry.com, you can get there and check it out. And there's also all kinds of other Mayberry related things right there on the front page of imayberry.com. So that is a single spot. I don't know. It's a great place to go for a single shop spot. Is that the way you say that? Anyway, place to start. So anyway, I'm glad to have you with us. Now, let's start going through some of the episodes so that you'll just get an idea of episodes that are available to you that you can go back and listen to. Okay, so let me pull this up here. I've got a list here that I'm going to try to read, and I'm going to show you the episodes at the same time, I hope. Okay, so all right, so this episode is episode number 407, so that you know. I'm going to show you, here's what I'm looking at. This is our show notes. So if you haven't ever gone to the website, the Two Chairs No Waiting, the show notes are available of everything I talk about, and there's links and everything. So all the episodes this time are listed down here in the top episodes of 2016. So I'm going to pull this over to the side and start talking to you about them. So the first episode, the top 5 most popular downloaded episodes of 2016. Okay, 2016. The first one is Neil Brower interview with Morgan Brittany back from 2011. It was part 1. This is episode number 366. Now, this is, it didn't come out in 2011. It was actually released in February of 2016. But this is from Mayberry Days 2011 when Neil Brower interviewed Morgan Brittany. Morgan Brittany appeared on the Andy Griffith Show. You hopefully know that, or maybe you didn't know that. So if you didn't, head over there and check out this podcast episode, because she was there as Mary Alice Carter. And there's all these episodes. If you go and check them out, the links are in the show notes that go directly to them. And there's an audio version, and there's a play button that you'll see at the top of the screen when you go to the particular episode that just says play. You click the play button just like you would on anything else. You can listen to it directly there. You can also scroll down, and there's always a video version, at least since about episode 60-something or 70, somewhere in there. There's been video versions of the podcast. So you got both ways that you can be a part of the show. Okay, so that's number 5 most popular downloaded episode of Two Chairs No Waiting. Number 4 is Bruce and Morgan from Colonel Tim's 2011. So this is going back. This is also Bruce Billison. Bruce Billison, he was the assistant director. I'm trying to make sure I get this right, of the Andy Griffith Show. So he was a director and was greatly involved in the creation of the Andy Griffith Show. So head over and check this out. This is episode number 365. Okay, so next one is number 3. Guess what this is? This is part 3 of that same interview series. So it's 368, episode number 368. Neil Brower interviews Morgan Brittany. So of our 5, 4, and 3, they were all Morgan Brittany episodes with Neil Brower. So Neil Brower is the most popular person on this podcast. I'm the host, but I guess that's okay. Hey, I'm just glad people are enjoying, because Neil does amazing work, and it is great. So this was episode number part 3 of that same interview. Okay, the second most popular episode, most downloaded episode of 2015 is an episode that was called Why a Black Woman is Fascinated with Mayberry and Andy Griffith. That was episode number 369. Now, in that episode, we addressed the topic that's often talked about the Andy Griffith Show, but it's rarely really, it's never really come to a conclusion. But it's about African Americans in Mayberry. So there's another episode, it's called that actually. It's episode number 119, called African Americans in Mayberry. But this one's from a different perspective, because this episode we're able to hear the thoughts of a lady named Kathleen McElroy, who happens to be a black woman who is fascinated with Mayberry and the Andy Griffith Show. And she wrote a great article, and she gave me permission to it. It came out back in, this article came back out in December of 2015. And then this podcast came out in March. So this is a great thing. There's a video version of this as well, but it's just basically me reading the story. So head over there and check that out. That was the second most downloaded episode of 2016. And the most downloaded episode of 2016, it actually came out fairly late in the year, July. As you'll notice, most of the episodes that I was talking about previously were in the 360 range. But because honestly, it's because they've been out longer. And the longer these episodes are out, people tend to see them and watch them. But this one was actually a repeat episode, but it was repackaged, and folks seemed to love it. Now, this is completely different than the normal episode. It doesn't even start off with the theme music or anything, or the theme music, I mean, of the podcast. Matter of fact, it starts out just like, let's just play a little bit of it. Starts out just like the Andy Griffith Show, because what this episode was, number 384, it's called Mayberry After Midday, Old Time Radio Special. Okay, so it sounds like this. It's a radio version of the Andy Griffith Show, starring Floyd and Burt Miller, the traveling salesman.
Well, hello, Bert. Come on in. You look a little tired. Oh, thank you, Floyd. I don't want to be a bother.
So that's what that episode sounds like. I definitely want to encourage you to go check it out. It is not like any other episode of Two Chairs No Waiting that I've ever done. It was the number one most downloaded episode of the year. And I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of work. A fellow named Joe Gritton wrote the episode, and it's just really cool that like I said, this was a re-release. I'd done these episodes. I did it in two parts previously, is episode 191 and 192 of Two Chairs No Waiting. But then I wanted to bring it all together and make a, 20, how long is this? This is 20 minutes long episode of the Andy Griffith Show that you can just put earbuds or something in your ear, listen to, and enjoy yourself. And thank you for folks enjoying that. That was our number one most downloaded episode of 2016. Now, like I said, that's kind of cheating in the sense that it's only 2016. So it's episodes that were released in 2016. So that's kind of that's the problem. Because obviously episodes that were released in January of last year would have been released for the entire year and have a chance of being watched or listened to more than other episodes. But this still gives you an idea of which episodes throughout the year people tended to go back and listen to. All right, so since I feel like that's a little cheating, I wanted to give you the top 10 most downloaded episodes all time. For the life of the podcast, these are the most downloaded. I'm going to read through these a little bit quicker, but you guys can head over to our show notes at twochairsnowaiting.com and episode number 407, and you can find the link to all of these episodes. So you can just go straight there, click them, and listen to them, download them, whatever you want to do. All right, so number 10 is David Browning, Part 1. That's episode number 22. David Browning is our Deputy Barney Fife tribute artist who got most of the tribute artists started doing our stuff. He was the first. He was the man. Still is the man. So this is an interview I did with him, back in 2009. The 22nd episode of Two Chairs No Waiting. Next is a Russell Hyatt interview. This is number 9. So number 9 is Russell Hyatt. He was he ran Floyd City Barbershop in Mount Airy, North Carolina. So this is part 2. It's episode 27. And number 8 is part 1 of that same series. So there's part 1 and part 2 are 8 and 9 most downloaded all time podcast episode. All right. The number 7 most downloaded episode is actually an interview with Gary Crane. Gary Crane was a Gomer Pyle tribute artist, and he performed with us for a while, and then he moved off to somewhere, Texas or something, and we haven't seen him in a long time. But wow, his voice, he does a great job with his voice as Gomer. We have a new Gomer now that works with us, Michael Oliver, and he's great as well. But this interview that I did with Gary, because I think Gary maybe he hands out cards with this on it. I don't know, but it has been one of the top downloaded episodes of all time for a long time. It's number 7 this year. Last year it was number 5 most popular. But anyway, so congratulations to Gary on that. Next is number 6, which is Myers Lake is Franklin Canyon Reservoir. That was the 13th episode of the podcast. And this tells you all about how if you ever want to go to Myers Lake, Franklin Canyon Reservoir is the location, and it's located in the hills of California. You'll want to go there and check it out because this podcast episode, this one, and there's another one that's a follow-on to it. I didn't look up which one it is, but it will guide you directly to where Myers Lake is, and you'll be able to go see it. All right, and it's number 6 this year. It was number 7 last year, so it's moving up the charts. All right, next up is number 34, episode number 34. It was the Howard Morris interview. Now, Howard Morris, Ernest T. Bass, we know him. This is number 5 episode most downloaded. Last year it was number 4, so he slipped a little bit, but he's still right there at the very top. But Howard Morris interview, it's a great interview. It's fairly short. It's only about a 13-minute episode. It's a pretty short episode. So you'll have to head over there and check it out. It's a good one. It won't take you long to listen to. Howard Morse interview. That's number 5. Number 4. Number 4. This is an interesting title. It always has been. The name of the show, it's episode number 31 of Two Chairs No Waiting. And the name of it is, what did the mirror say to the dresser? Yeah, that's the name of the podcast episode. Anybody know what that means? Well, this is about something that was said in Aunt Bee's Romance, where they said, did I tell you what the mirror said to the dresser? Well, they never did answer the question. So Harvey Bullock, he was the writer of that episode. He actually gave us the answer. And this podcast episode, number 31, is the one where you can go and find out, what did the mirror say to the dresser? Okay. All right. That's number 4. Number 4. It was number 3 last year in 2015. All right. Next is the number 3 most downloaded episode of all time. It's the Taylor Home In Part 4, which is kind of weird to me because Part 4 is it's number 3, but the other 3 parts of it are not. I don't get it. Anyway, so this is a great episode. You might want to go check these out. This is number 43, the Taylor Home In Part 4. Okay, so go check it out. Next up is the number, where am I? Number 2. That was number 3 episode last year. It was number 2 last year. The Taylor Home In was. So that's number 3. Number 2 is James Best. James Best interview, episode number 38. It's the number 2 most downloaded all-time episode of Two Chairs No Waiting. Go check that out. It's a great interview. It's short interview, about 13 minutes long. You'll enjoy it. James Best, he was Roscoe P. Coltrane on Dukes of Hazzard. You can go check him out. And the number one. By the way, James last year was number 6 all time. So he's moved from number 6 to number 2. Congratulations. Number 1 all time. Number 1. This one has been number 1 for quite a while. Is Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 49. It's called Listener Feedback, number 10. Listener Feedback 10 plus Tribute Artist. This episode, for some reason, is the most downloaded ever. So go check this one out because evidently people really love this episode. It's episode number 49, Listener Feedback 10 plus Tribute Artist. So go check it out. That's the most downloaded of all time. All right, so these are all about our audio podcasts. We've all been talking about audio. And now it's time to move into the video versions of our show. So most of you guys, I've always said that I definitely have the face for radio. So most of you folks enjoy the audio. I know I like audio podcasts. I love them. Every once in a while, one comes along that needs to be on video. So I'm going to tell you that all of these are not podcast episodes, but these are videos that I've posted on YouTube. Most of them are podcast. 2 of them are not. But this is the top 10 most viewed videos on my channel from 2016. Okay, so these are the top 10. Top 10. Now, number 10 is not actually a podcast episode. Nope. It's not. It is a video that I released a long time ago called Mountain Wedding, Charlene Sings. Charlene Sings. I'm the man for you, Charlene. So what this is, if you go check it out, it's a video on YouTube. The link is in our show notes. It'll take you there. This is the number 10 most viewed video of all my videos that are posted online. And this is actually Maggie Peterson. Maggie Peterson was in Ohio at an event called the Mayberry Squad Car Rendezvous. And this video is actually of Maggie. Of course, it starts off with a wedding where they actually had David Browning, had Maggie Peterson was in the wedding. Ho Cal Dud from the show was in the wedding as well. And they actually they performed the Mountain Wedding skit where Ernest T comes up and steals the bride, and Barney was dressed up as the bride, and a couple actually got married at this event during this wedding. And it's definitely something you want to see if you have never seen it. This is the number 10 most downloaded of all time. And in it, Maggie Peterson sings "There Is a Time." So it's worth going to check out, and I'll encourage you to head over there and see that. All right, so they're getting ready to sing. So let's go on to our next one. Number nine. Our number 9 most viewed YouTube video is one called "Coming Home for Christmas." So that's the number 9 most downloaded or watched episode of the video version, at least. And you can go check it out. And the fun thing to me is go back and look at these things. This is episode number of the podcast. It's episode number 353, by the way, "Coming Home for Christmas." And it was our Christmas episode, I think, last year. I should say in 2015. So you can go check that out. There's a lot of Christmas music and things like that in it. So go and check that out. All right, next up is the number 8 most watched video, and it's called "The Ghost and Mr. Chicken Part 2. Now, this is basically I went through, there's 2 episodes that are Ghost and Mr. Chicken related for the podcast. And what I'd done, this is episode number 160 of Two Chairs No Waiting. It's called "The Ghost and Mr. Chicken Part 2. And I'd gone through the movie and kind of picked out the different people in the movie that were related to the Andy Griffith Show, gave a lot of trivial information that's related to the Andy Griffith Show. And this is both one of my most watched videos and also one of my most negatively reviewed ones, because people come to this wanting to watch The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, so they don't get to. So that's number 8. And let's move on here. So number 7 is actually a video of my son and myself. It's called "The Andy Griffith Show Opening Credits." It's my son and myself where we went to Franklin Canyon, as we talked about from episode 13 of Two Chairs No Waiting. We went to Myers Lake itself and videoed my son and I walking down the path where Andy and Opie walked. And that is what the video is for that. So that's episode number, that's the number 7 most watched episode. Number 6 is episode number 288 of Two Chairs No Waiting. And it's called "Ernest T. and Thelma Lou and the Fun Girl, Part 1. And this was number 6 this year. And it's an interview basically with Howard Morris, Betty Lynn, and Gene Carson. So you definitely want to go and check it out. It's a one of a kind. You won't ever see or hear this anywhere else. You can listen to the audio, obviously, but it's really nice to see the video because you actually get to see these cast members being interviewed here on the show. All right, so next up is the number 5 most watched episode. This is called "Mayberry Meets Matlock." Mayberry Meets Matlock. So what I did here was we went through, found scenes from the Andy Griffith Show that were repeated on Matlock. For instance, there's the scene where Barney's trying to show Andy that he knows about leverage and stuff, where he takes the ruler and comes in and gets Andy to come at him, and he's going to block it. Matlock and Don and Andy recreated that same scene on Matlock. So you need to go and check out this video. It is called "Mayberry Meets Matlock." It's, again, one I really think you should see, because while you can listen to the podcast and I can describe it, it's really cool to see Matlock and Don. And there's some other things that occurred during that episode as well, that during that podcast episode that you would want to see. That's comparisons between Matlock and the Andy Griffith Show. All right, that was number 5. Number 4 video is one that's called "Mayberry Christmas to All" from 2014. This is episode number 310 of Two Chairs No Waiting. Evidently, people enjoy the Christmas episodes. I didn't do one this year, but what's neat to me is actually I see things in these videos that are behind me and things are different, and I play videos that are, different different things related to the Andy Griffith Show in these videos. So that was number 4. Number 3 is African Americans in Mayberry. Number 3, that's episode number 119 of Two Chairs No Waiting. And we go through and we talk about the different black actors or black characters that appeared on the Andy Griffith Show and what roles they played and when you would see them in the back. Of course, Flip Conroy is the main one that we always talk about, but there are others. They're just not main actors in the show. So go and check that one out. That's the number 3 most watched video from 2016. Number 2, we're almost done. Number 2 is called From Francis to Aunt B. From Francis to Aunt B. This is episode number 148 of Two Chairs No Waiting. It gives you all kinds of information about Frances Bavier and Aunt B, the character, and the lady, and what it really means to us all. So go and check it out. It's a great thing. Now, that was the number 2. Number 1 most watched video is the Ghost and Mr. Chicken, which is part 1 of this Ghost and Mr. Chicken series that I did. Because number 8 was the 8th most watched video was part 2 of this same thing. And so it's definitely worth going and check out because we give you a lot of information. But this was the number 1 most watched video from 2015. And again, it's one of the most, you get thumbs up and thumbs down on Facebook. I got 34 thumbs up and 29 thumbs down. So people get mad because they come in here and they're wanting to watch the actual video. All right, guys, that is all I have for us this week, whatever this is, for Two Chairs No Waiting. That's a lot to do and go back and look at. But hey, you don't have to remember all this. Head over to twochairsnowaiting.com and go to episode number 407. So you can do a search in the top up there. There's a search thing. You just type in 407. Boom, it'll take you right to them. And you'll be able to find these episodes. There's also an episode listing. You can go there and scroll through all the episodes if you want to. Great way to find things that you're looking for. twochairsnowaiting.com. Again, I want to thank you for being here. I hope I haven't bored you. I've given you a lot of information. A lot of the information I gave you is in the show notes. So if you'll head over and look at the show notes for Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 407, you'll be able to see all the links and all the information for this. They're right there. They're going to be right there on the page. All you got to do is click the link and it'll take you and you can watch or listen to whichever of these episodes that you might want to be able to catch up on, or if you've never seen them, definitely go and check them out. And I know you're going to enjoy it. So folks, again, I want to thank you for being here in Mayberry with me. I hope you'll come back. I hope this will be a regular thing. I want to invite you. We normally record a live version of the show on Monday nights at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock. Is that right? Yeah, 8 o'clock. Is that right? Am I telling the right time? On the episodes nights. Yes, that's right. So from 7 to 8, which is 8 to 9. Is that the right time? What? I don't even remember what time I do the live show. See, I get off the schedule because, I'm gone for a week. Let me pull up my live show thing to make sure I'm right. And the problem I always have too is I'm Central Time. Most people are Eastern Time that are actually coming to the podcast. And so I'm having a hard time remembering whether I tell Eastern or Central Time when I'm doing this. So, you can just drop by and we have a live show every week, basically here on Two Chairs No Waiting, that you can come and be a part of. So just head over to Two Chairs No Waiting and you can see it. If you follow me on Facebook, I post it every time, but it comes on at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Monday nights. You can join us. If you go to live.twochairsnowaiting.com, it'll take you right to the page and you can come and watch the video and be a part of the show. I know you'd enjoy it, so head over and check it out. All right, guys, that is all I have for you, and I want to thank you again for coming. I'd love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415, Or you can just drop by twocairsnowaiting.com, leave a message there. Head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/2chairs and join the conversation with all the other fans. They're all there. Folks, lots of ways to talk to each other and lots of ways to talk to me. I love to hear from you, and I know other folks enjoy getting to know you as well. So thanks for being here in Mayberry, and we'll see you next time here on Two Chairs, No Waiting.